Imagine this. You sit down to work, open your laptop, and suddenly an hour vanishes to scrolling fantasy and just one more video. Your brain feels foggy, your willpower paper thin, and deep down you know why. You've trained your mind to chase instant pleasure instead of real progress. This video is about using NoFap not as a trend, but as a discipline weapon to rebuild your focus. We're going to connect what's happening in your brain chemically, emotionally, and practically, and turn it into a daily system you can follow. If you've tried streaks, relapsed, and started doubting yourself, stay with me. By the end, you'll understand exactly why you keep getting pulled back and how to break that loop. No shame, no fluff, just a clear, honest guide to transform urges into energy and distraction into deep work. In this video, we'll break down how NoFap can help you rebuild laser-sharp focus, step by step. Not through superstition, but through understanding how your brain's reward system works and how to retrain it. We'll talk about dopamine, habits, triggers, routines, and exactly what to do when urges hit in the middle of a study session or work block. If you care about becoming more focused, more grounded, and more in control of your time, you're in the right place. Stick with me until the end, because I'll give you a simple, practical daily blueprint you can start using tonight. And if content like this helps you, consider subscribing and turning on the notification bell so you don't miss the next deep dive on discipline and mindset. For now, put your phone down, close extra tabs, and give your full attention here. Treat this video as your first focus rep. Let's start with the uncomfortable truth. Your focus is not just weak, it's being hijacked. Every time you open explicit content, scroll endlessly, or chase quick stimulation, you're teaching your brain to expect constant novelty and instant reward. Your brain learns, why work for a difficult task when I can get a dopamine spike in seconds? This is why reading a page of a book suddenly feels exhausting, why 5 minutes of boredom feels unbearable. It's not that you're lazy, your reward system is out of calibration. NoFap, done right, is about stepping back from that constant flood so your brain can reset what it finds rewarding. When you remove hyperstimulation, normal life, studying, working out, building a skill, slowly becomes rewarding again. Understanding this is crucial because you're not just quitting a habit, you're rewiring how your brain responds to effort, discomfort, and focus. Dopamine isn't evil, it's a motivation signal. It says, that felt good, do it again. The problem isn't dopamine itself, it's the intensity and frequency of the spikes. Porn and compulsive masturbation deliver huge, repeated dopamine hits with almost no effort. Over time, your brain adapts by lowering sensitivity. Result? Regular activities, studying, reading, even talking to people, feel bland and empty. When you start NoFap, you're not just stopping fapping, you're lowering the volume of those extreme signals so your brain can regain sensitivity. That's why early on, many people feel bored, restless, even numb. It's your reward system recalibrating. If you expect instant superpowers after 3 days, you'll quit. If you understand you're going through withdrawal from hyperstimulation, you'll stay the course. This isn't magic, it's neuroplasticity. You're retraining your brain to get satisfaction from effort, not pixels. Here's where most people go wrong. They think NoFap alone will give them focus. They quit cold turkey, white knuckle for a few days, then relapse when stress hits. Why? Because urges are not random. They're tightly linked to triggers, emotions, and environment. You need to map your patterns. Ask yourself, when do you usually relapse? Late at night, alone in your room, after social rejection, after gaming, after scrolling certain apps? What emotions come before the urge? Boredom, anxiety, loneliness, frustration? Write these down. That list is your personal enemy profile. Once you recognize, okay, it's 11:30 p.m., I'm tired, scrolling in bed, this is exactly my danger zone, you can act before the spiral starts. Focus doesn't begin at your laptop. It begins with managing the environments and emotional states that normally push you toward short-term pleasure. NoFap discipline is 80% preparation, 20% willpower. NoFap is easier when you stop trying to use willpower in the moment and instead design your environment so focus is the default. Think of your room like a battlefield. What's on your desk, your walls, your screens, either pulls you toward discipline or distraction. Start simple. Clear your workspace. Remove clutter. Hide your phone in another room during deep work. Log out of sites that trigger you. Use website blockers at specific hours you know you're weak. Set your screen background to something that reminds you of your goals, a simple quote or a photo representing the future you're building. Also, control your physical environment. Good lighting, comfortable chair, water nearby, noise-canceling headphones or focus music. The less friction between you and starting, the better. When your space signals "we work here," your brain slowly associates sitting at that desk with concentration, not mindless browsing. You're not just quitting, you're rebranding your environment. Urges will come. What separates disciplined people is not that they never feel urges, it's what they do in the first 60 seconds. You need a pre-planned urge protocol, not improvisation. When an urge hits, follow 3 steps. First, pause and label it. This is just an urge. It will peak and fade. That breaks the automatic autopilot. Second, change your state physically. Stand up, leave the room, do 20 push-ups, cold water on your face, a quick walk, deep breathing. Movement interrupts the mental loop. Third, redirect your focus to a prepared task. A to-do list item, a book on your desk, a course, journaling. Pre-decide this task when you're calm. The goal isn't to never feel tempted, but to turn urges into alarms that say, time to refocus. Over time, every successfully managed urge becomes a rep that strengthens your discipline muscle. Discipline feels impossible if your energy is wrecked. Sleep, nutrition, and movement are not side quests. They are core NoFap tools. If you're sleep deprived, your brain craves easy dopamine and your prefrontal cortex, the part that says no, goes offline. Aim for consistent sleep and wake times. No screens in bed. If late night scrolling leads to relapses, charge your phone in another room. With food, keep it simple. Stable blood sugar equals stable focus. Reduce heavy junk meals that make you crash. Increase protein, whole foods, and water. Movement is huge. Daily walks, strength training, or sports burn off nervous energy and lower stress, which are common triggers. You don't need a perfect gym routine. You just need to move your body every day. Think of it this way. You're not just quitting a habit. You're building an organism capable of deep focus. Your brain is physically inside your body. Treat the whole system. To rebuild focus, you must train it like a muscle. NoFap removes a massive distraction, but you still need deliberate practice. Enter deep work blocks. Start with 25 to 50 minutes of fully focused work on a single task. Studying, coding, writing, skill practice. No phone, no tabs, no music with lyrics if it distracts you. Set a timer. During that block, urges and boredom are part of the workout. When your mind wanders, gently bring it back again and again. Each refocus is a rep. After the block, take a 5–10 minute break. Stretch, walk, breathe. Then repeat. Don't chase perfection, chase consistency. Even 2 deep work blocks daily, done fully, will change you in a month. NoFap gives you freed up mental bandwidth. Deep work tells your brain, this is where we're investing that bandwidth now. That's how streaks become skills, not just days on a counter. Avoid the fantasy that one giant streak will magically fix your life. Discipline is built from micro habits, small, repeatable actions that reduce friction and increase control. Some powerful NoFap micro habits. Morning reset. Make your bed, drink water, 2 minutes of deep breathing. It signals day started with intention. Daily journaling. Write 3 lines. How you feel, your main goal today, and one thing you'll do when urges hit. Visual cues. Sticky notes with one focus word. Build, focus, or your long-term goal on your laptop or wall. Night shutdown. 30 minutes before bed. No stimulating content. Read, stretch, plan tomorrow. None of these are dramatic. That's the point. Micro habits are so small that you can do them even when you feel low. Over weeks, they stack into identity. You stop being someone trying NoFap and start becoming someone who lives with discipline. There's a concept called transmutation, redirecting sexual energy into something creative or productive. Sounds mystical, but it's actually practical psychology. When you don't numb urges instantly, you're left with raw restlessness. You can either let it torment you or channel it. When you feel that surge, ask, where can I put this? Maybe it's a tough workout, a deep work sprint, music, art, business planning, studying, or improving your appearance and social skills. The key is immediacy. Move from mental temptation to physical or creative action within minutes. This doesn't mean you never experience frustration. You will. But over time, your brain learns a new association. Arousal or tension equal time to build. Many people report their most intense focus and creativity during strong streaks, not because energy magically appears, but because they've finally given it a direction. Relapse doesn't mean you're weak, it means there's data you haven't learned from yet. The worst thing you can do is spiral into shame, binge harder, and throw away your progress. Shame destroys focus faster than any website. When you relapse, treat it like a coach reviews game footage. After the urge passes, grab a notebook and ask, what exactly happened before? What was I feeling? What story did I tell myself to justify it? What could I change next time? Environment, routine, response. Then adjust your systems. Maybe you need stricter night rules, new social boundaries, or different coping tools for stress. And importantly, get back to normal life immediately. Shower, reset space, do a small productive task. Teach your brain, a slip is a moment, not an identity. The streak is a tool, not your worth. NoFap is deeply personal, but trying to do it in total isolation often backfires. When you're alone with your urges and self-criticism, they echo louder. A supportive environment, online or offline, can amplify your discipline. This doesn't mean announcing your streak to everyone. It means strategically choosing people and spaces that reinforce your goals. Join a small accountability group, a trusted friend, or an online community focused on self-improvement rather than just counting days. Share wins and losses honestly. Also, curate your digital inputs. Unfollow content that constantly sexualizes everything. Follow channels, podcasts, and creators that talk about mindset, health, and deep work. Your feed is training your brain all day long. You become what you repeatedly see, hear, and talk about. If your environment normalizes distraction and compulsive behavior, it drags you back. Build a microculture around you where focus and discipline are the standard. Let's lock in the key points so you leave with a clear map, not just motivation. First, NoFap is not magic. It's a tool to recalibrate your dopamine system so normal effort feels rewarding again. Second, focus comes from systems, identifying triggers, designing your environment, and building routines that support concentration instead of temptation. Third, urges are inevitable. Your power is in your response. Use an urge protocol. Label, change state, redirect. Fourth, your body is your foundation. Sleep, nutrition, and movement directly affect your willpower. Fifth, train focus deliberately with deep work blocks, not just by avoiding bad habits. Sixth, micro habits and transmuting energy turn streaks into actual life progress. Finally, relapse is data, not doom. Review, adjust, and continue. If you treat NoFap as a disciplined practice rather than a fragile streak, you'll rebuild not just focus, but self-respect. Now it's your move. Information without action just becomes another distraction. So here's a simple challenge. Today, design your first 24 hours of focused NoFap discipline. Step 1. Write down your top 3 triggers and one concrete change for each. Step 2. Set up a clean workspace and schedule at least 2 deep work blocks for tomorrow. Step 3. Create your urge protocol and place a visible reminder near your desk or bed. That's it. Start small, but start. If this video helped you see NoFap as a structured path to focus rather than just a trend, consider subscribing and tapping the notification bell so you don't miss upcoming videos on habits, mindset, and performance. Comment below with one change you're committing to this week. Writing it out makes it real, and you might inspire someone else. Close this video, implement one action immediately, and prove to yourself that today is different.